Sam, with the Bills, tell me this. Do they have to win the Super Bowl this season for it to be a success with all that talent they have on the roster?
They do, Molly. And honestly, y'all know me. Usually I'm not the one that's like a Super Bowl or bust kind of guy. But for the Buffalo Bills, it's Super Bowl or bust based off of a few reasons. Number one, Josh Allen, right? Number one, he's one of the best, if not the best, arguably the best, top three, whatever you want to call it, quarterback in the NFL. We saw what happened last year in the divisional round, toe to toe with Tyreek Hill, with Patrick Mahomes, with the Kansas City Chiefs, lose in overtime, but it wasn't because of Josh Allen. Josh Allen was outstanding, but it's not just that. Look at what they did in the offseason. They went and signed Von Miller. Von Miller could have gone anywhere. Remember, he said he was going to go to the Cowboys. If the Cowboys would have gave me a better offer, he could have gone anywhere, but he chose to go to Buffalo to get another ring. Super Bowl MVP, Von Miller. They call him Playoff Von. You go and get him. You go and get Khair Elam in the draft. You go and get James Cook to go play running back. Everything is set for the Buffalo Bills to win and to win now. Tom Brady is no longer in your division. He's no longer the thing you have to overcome. You've overcome the Patriots. You need to now overcome the Chiefs, get into and win a Super Bowl. For me, it is and has to be Super Bowl or bust for the Buffalo Bills.
I disagree. They have to get to the Super Bowl or the season's a wash. But I think if you got to the Super Bowl, it all depends on who you're going up against. Like if you're going up against Tom Brady and you lose to Tom Brady, ain't going to be no shame in that. You go up against Aaron Rodgers, ain't going to be any shame in that. If you go up against the Los Angeles Rams, the reigning defending Super Bowl champions with Aaron Donald returning, Matthew Stafford returning, even though I've got some concerns about that elbow and what have you, with Cooper Kupp and the crew, there's no shame in that. There's a few teams in the NFC division, in the NFC conference. If you end up losing to them, it's not shameful, especially if you're Josh Allen, the stud that he is, who's proven to be a stud. The key for him is that you got to show that you could get out of the AFC. You've been knocking on the door. You was in the divisional playoff round a couple of years. You went to the AFC Championship game last year, okay? Wasn't able to get that. I think it was back-to-back, if I remember correctly. The bottom line is this. When you look at Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow and these boys, Russell Wilson now in the division, David Carr having Devontae Adams at his disposal with Josh McDaniel as your new head coach. You look at all of these things that are transpiring. We still find ourselves looking at the Buffalo Bills and saying you got to get over the hump. The only thing that I think will really, really hurt in terms of them going to the Super Bowl, Doggy, and Sam, and losing is that, let's face reality, we still remember, even after all of these years, how they went to 4 straight Super Bowls and lost. We still never forgot that.
Yes.
So it's like,
yes.
All right, here's the Super Bowl. This is what they do when they get to the Super Bowl. That kind of pressure is kind of palpable, and I see that. But I think that for me, the key for them is go to the Super Bowl or bust. But winning or bust, Dougie, I'm not so sure.
Well, I mean, I do think getting by Kansas City would be a big plus because they've lost to him twice. So if they can beat the Chiefs, that would be a big win. I'm with you on that. But I do think the history of Buffalo, that city's got a little inferiority complex. They've never won a championship. They lost to the Giants. They got buried by Dallas twice. They lost to Washington. If they got to the Super Bowl and beat Kansas City on the way and then laid an egg against Green Bay, Tampa, or the Rams, I think that would be very, very difficult for that city to overcome that. So I'm with Sam. I think they got to win the whole thing. Plus, they're everybody's favorite flavor of the month. The whole world's picking Buffalo to go to win a Super Bowl.
Yes.
I've heard Buffalo and the Rams, Buffalo and Tampa, Buffalo and Green Bay. The world loves the Bills.
Hey, Sam.
And so you put that in the mix, they have to win.
Hey, Sam, before I let you chime in here, is it possible that those people are some pretty damn fools when you've got Leslie? Listen, you know how big I am about African Americans getting an opportunity to be a head coach in the National Football League. Leslie Frazier had that before. It didn't work out. We know what a big-time coordinator he is. But if there's ever a person whose name was sullied, it was his. You can't stop the Kansas City Chiefs from getting in the field goal range off of a kickoff in 13 seconds? You don't have any idea how bad that is? So these people that are sitting there and ordaining the Buffalo Bills as preeminent or imminent Super Bowl champions, I think that's a bit beyond the pale. Could you get out of the conference? Because you owe folks that much. Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, well, here's the thing about that play, Stephen A. The guy who messed up on that play, if you will, Levi Wallace, is no longer on the Bills. They went and drafted a guy who can help on that play. I know one of the guys who was a part of that big play for the Kansas City Chiefs, Tyreek Hill, was a part of that conversation, that play. He's no longer there. And so for me, I think you get there, but it means nothing for the Buffalo Bills if you get to the Super Bowl and lose. They don't care about the first loser. They care about the winner, especially when you're as talented as Buffalo is.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.